Hi, this is a quick 10-minute demo of SonarC2. SonarC2 is an out-of-the-box security and compliance data lake. And what I have here is a system running on AWS, ingesting data from QRadar, Splunk, a whole bunch of data security tools like CyberArk and Guardian, and even a stream coming in from Kafka. So for example, I can go in and look at any of these data sets. I can query them. I can add any combination of conditions, right? So say that I look at my QRadar data from the last 30 days. So it'll go analyze all the data from 30 days, and each one of these is an event. It's a JSON document. The raw data coming in from QRadar is a JSON based document. So what I do is I set up a log forwarder in QRadar, or I use a Splunk heavy forwarder, and I get the JSON data directly into SonarC2, where the data is kept for 13 months or 3 years in a very compressed and efficient active archive. So I never have to archive files off the box and then have to deal with bringing them back. I can get an auditor access to the system, and they can do something like go back in time, look at data that is say very old, so then I could go back and just run the query at any point in time. And then once I run this, I can add a condition, so I can say, okay, show me all the sources that I have, analyze the entire collection to see which sources I have, zero in perhaps just on one source, so add a condition that searches for a certain IP address, then add another condition, for example, only the ones that are packet allowed by ACL, or maybe only those that are not packet allowed by ACL. So add another condition, so that's another event, only 73 hits in this case, CV8 that are in this time frame, et cetera, et cetera. And this is true for any data set, so it's a very flexible system. It doesn't matter where the data came from into the lake. Everything is in there, plus there's all kinds of analytic functions in there as well. So for example, if I remove these and I have too much and I don't want to look at everything, I can apply a noise reduction algorithm to it, which will go and reduce each one of these events depending on the actual algorithm for the noise reduction piece, and every data set could have a different noise reduction algorithm to it. So that's one example what you get. You can also produce reports. So I can go in here and say that I want to pick the data set. So again, I'll stick with the data that's coming in from QRadar. It'll give me all of the attributes that I have, and I can go and pick, okay, I want the report to include this field, and this field, and this field, and this field, and I want to be able to search on this field and this field only. And that's pretty much all I do. And if it's a string, I can define what kind of search I want. Do I want a regular expression search or other operators? And then what that gives me is a report that looks like this that I can either use myself or give to an auditor, where they can say, okay, show me everything that has ASA in the payload, and it'll run, and it'll give me all the events that come, in this case, from a Cisco Adaptive Security Appliance. And then of course, if these are reports that have to be provided to people very often, then I can schedule a job that says, I want to run this based on a certain cron job. I want to run it on a daily basis at 1 a.m., for example. And then do I want to deliver it as a PDF or a CSV? Or do I want to take it out of the lake? So do I want to deliver it to a downstream bigger data lake or some other system over a Kafka queue? Or do I just want to email it to an individual or a set of people? And also there's a built-in workflow engine. So if I want to run these and say coalesce a bunch of events together, but then assign it to someone, and that someone then needs to handle it, then I can generate a workflow event, and it'll go to the right person, and that person, based on their role, can either can act upon that event depending on what the type of the event is, and who the person is. So there is a built-in also a workflow engine into all of this. And finally, the system on the one side has all of the tooling and access points already inside the tool, or you can also use any of your systems. So for example, I can use Tableau to access the system, and then I can just use the Tableau drag and drop, okay, to access the data set sitting in the lake, right? So you see I've picked all the destination of these events, and say I can add the number of records over here, and I can then segment it by, say, the log source. So I drag the log source over. And so the whole idea is that the data lake is open. You can access it with Tableau or any other BI tool. You can access it through R and do analytics. You can run Python code that accesses it, or Scala code, or pretty much anything else. The whole idea is that the data lake is available to data analysts and security analysts and pretty much anybody else under a certain set of data level security constraints. But the data lake itself requires no development to get the data in, no development to use the data, and no development to get the data out. So this has been a very quick overview of SonarC2. For more information, please contact us, and we'll arrange a demo based on your specific requirements. Thank you.